I'm going to hit record just a moment, and we're recording.
Good evening. I would like to call the meeting of the Curriculum and Student Success Committee of the Portland Board of Public Education to order at 7:30 on June 22nd, 2026. We're meeting via Zoom. I am Julianne Opperman, Chair of the Committee and District 3 Representative, and I am joined right now by Committee Member Myelina. Look forward to see if Mickey, Vice Chair Bondo, and Committee Member Yusra Ali will join us in a bit. Tonight, we're looking forward to an end of the year update on Strategic Plan 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, 3.1, and 3.2 initiatives. So quite a span. And also a newly articulated high school social studies standard added to our current history and geography curriculum. Yeah, so with that, I welcome a number of people here, but I will let Dr. Proctor move with that.
Oh, good evening. Thank you so much for everyone for being here. And I'm taking a inventory of our participant list, and we don't have any participants from outside of this group yet, but I think it's really important that we start with introductions. So I'm going to ask Dr. Ahmed to lead us in introductions and take us through each team member introducing themselves.
Thank you, Dr. Proctor. My name is Abdullah Ahmed, and I am outgoing Assistant Superintendent for Secondary Schools and incoming Assistant Superintendent for the Students, Family, and Community Partnerships. And looking forward to the discussion tonight. And I will pass to Alice, who's next to me on the screen.
Hello, I'm Alice Buckley. I'm the Secondary Director of Culture and Climate. And I will pass it to Allison.
Good evening, I'm Allison Beebe, I'm Director of Secondary Academics, and I will pass it to Jessie.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jessie Robinson. I'm the Elementary Director of Academics. And I think that's it for our team here.
I think Pamela's here.
Oh, sorry, Pamela. Hi,
It's
Pamela.
okay. I just joined Jessie. No worries. Pamela Otunu, Director of Secondary Innovation and Outcomes.
Thank you all. I would open for public comment, and I'll wait but a bit to see if we have any attendees, but at this point we do not. So after about a minute, I will say we close it. So
Great.
or maybe less than a minute. All right. Yeah, I'm closing public comment. Take it away.
All right, thank you. And so I want to note that we also have and want to thank Joanne Frankel, who also participated in putting together this presentation. She was not able to make it this evening, and so one of us will speak to those slides easily. Also, there she is, Dr. Angela Akasin-Duina is joining us. We welcome and congratulate her again in her a new role as superintendent for South Portland Public Schools. And this will be her last committee meeting with us, and we'll speak to the slides that Joanna Frankel has prepared. All right, so I'm going to share my screen at this time. All right. And as I advance into the slides, it was noted that we will really just share tonight three things, where we started, where we are, and where we're going for each of these initiatives. And you will see that would be the cadence of the recap for the year. And then after we're done going through, we will open it up for questions. And so I'm going to turn it over to Jessie Robinson at this point to take us through elementary ELA and math.
Great. Well, we just wrapped up our year 2 of ELA launch. And we also had a year of reflecting and revising our elementary math program for elementary schools. And I'm here to report that we accomplished what we set out to do. So in ELA, we continue to implement CKLA and ELELA, which are our two curricula in elementary schools. And we use those curricula in all grades and all classrooms. This year, we embedded supports for multilingual learners into our instruction with a focus on reading comprehension. And then we also held regular grade level teacher meetings to look at data and student work to better meet the needs of all students. It was a great year, and I'll show some data on the next slide. Sorry, Cheryl. I jumped in too soon. Just to note, in math, we convened a work group, and it had staff in all grades in all elementary schools. And so it was a really great collaborative group. And what we did is we assessed the current state of elementary math and made some recommendations for not just next year, but for the next 3 years in elementary mathematics.
Okay, be careful how we use the phrase next slide.
Okay.
You say next slide, and I'm ready to go. Sorry, I'm so sorry, Jessie.
No. Appreciate you being the driver of those slides. So here is just a little bit of data. These are our strategic plan measures for implementing elementary ELA this year. This data is from walkthrough data. So this is just a snapshot. In the fall, so let me just say the two measures that we set out to accomplish is 70% of classrooms where the majority of students are carrying the cognitive load. And then our goal was 80% of classrooms where teachers are using multilingual supports, which we named as language dives, conversation cues, vocabulary development, and close reading. Those were the 4 strategies that we had identified and put into our professional development. Anyway, at the beginning of the year, it was 62% for the majority of students carrying the cognitive load in the classrooms that we saw in the fall. And then in the spring, it was 70%. And I did not change the data at all. It was exactly 70%. And that was really exciting when we looked at all of those classrooms. And then in the second measure, we set out to ensure that those supports for multilingual students were in all of our classrooms. The goal was 80%, and we got to 77%. So I called that good. I think we achieved our goal for the year for that, and it was great to see. We're really proud of that. And so looking forward to next year, we will continue to monitor elementary ELA and launch an elementary math focus. So once again, we'll continue to teach those 2 curricula. We'll continue to implement them in all of our classroom using planning and student work and carrying the cognitive load. And then on the math side of things, we'll based on the recommendations, we'll be relaunching illustrative math in all of our elementary classrooms. So we've been using IM since 2020, and it's been going. There's a lot of experience in the district around using IM, and we're just going to kind of continue to sharpen those skills and really focus on our planning for IM and implementing that curriculum. We will also have some equity-based conversations about high expectations in math next year. And we will also, we sort of identified 2 areas that IM could improve. One is around cumulative review problems and fluency practices. And so we're going to both use the best parts of IM and then also improve the 2 areas that it needs, which are those 2 areas. So we're really excited about it. There's a lot of buy-in, and we're looking forward to next year.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And then I'll turn it over to Allison, who will share with us secondary ELA and math.
All right. Hi again, everyone. So in grade 6-8 in our middle schools, this year was year 2 of our ELA launch. Some teachers have been using it longer, but according to our strategic plan, we were in year 2 of launch. And then it was a design year for middle school math. So once again, we accomplished what we set out to do here as well. So we continue to deepen our implementation of ELELA and identical to elementary school, we were specifically using our professional development to practice existing high leverage multilingual strategies in the curriculum. And that PD actually went to all staff because we thought these language routines could help across content. And so, yeah, the exact topics that they did in elementary, including language dives, academic vocabulary, and then reading complex text. In math, we convened a work group of teachers in all roles, predominantly math teachers, but including school leaders as well, to assess the current math program, pilot HQIM, and submit a recommendation. Our middle schools have been using Amplified Desmos, which has the same scope and sequence as Illustrative Mathematics, or IM. And through this work, they essentially identified that the program itself was sound and aligned to our vision. However, we needed to reboot our PD around how to use it optimally to increase student engagement, and we needed to beef up the procedural fluency practice. And so the recommendation includes those points. So again, similar to Jesse, we do regular walkthroughs to look at implementation of any curriculum we're launching. So in this case for us, it was ELELA and similar metrics here, percent of classrooms where the majority of students are carrying the cognitive load and percent of teachers who are using those multilingual supports that we're practicing in PD. So for us, it was 57% in the fall for cognitive load, and we were able to get that up to 80%, exceeding our goal. Our ML supports, we didn't quite make it to that goal of 80, but you can see we nearly doubled. And so that's good momentum that we'll build on next year.
Oops.
And so for grade 6-8, our next steps in ELA, we're going to continue to monitor implementation. It's a monitor year, and we're going to turn our attention to looking at student work in our content planning collaboration time to see the impact that it's having on student skills and performance. And then we're also investing, we already had Lexia Power Up, but we're investing professional development time in using that again to optimize its impact. We also are investing in MClass, which is more foundational skills for those students who need that tier 3 support. And so a focus on helping to move our results by honing our intervention work. And then, as I mentioned in math, we had this design year, and so next up is launch. So we'll be relaunching Desmos again with a focus on using the program's ample opportunities for student discourse, really emphasizing those. And then, as I said before, beefing up the procedural fluency practice.
Okay, thank you. And then you will share a little bit about
Yes.
the new requirements for financial literacy and civics.
Mhm. Thanks. So the social studies main standards were revised in 2019. And actually, let me pull it up. The, sorry. Oh, well, I can move this. Anyways, it asks high school students should cover financial literacy and civics. This is within social studies. So at our high schools, we require 6 credits. So that's 3 courses for social studies.
Yes, continue. I'm just bringing Jesse in. Sorry, can't
Okay, no
project
problem.
yeah. Sorry.
Oh, while you were doing that, I found what I was looking for.
Okay,
So,
great.
social studies and history should include American history, government, civics, and personal finance. So the way this looks in our high schools right now is that 9th graders will usually take a global studies class, 10th grade will take early U.S. history, and then 11th grade is covering more contemporary U.S. history as well as world history. And so in those 3 courses, we have not been finding that we have the space or time to meet that state requirement of financial literacy and civics. Meanwhile, in some other spaces, like our high school design work, stakeholders in the community have repeatedly brought up financial literacy as something they want students to be learning. So we have this sort of double mandate, one in state law, and then also from what our community members have been telling us. So these graduation requirements live in board policy IKF, which is linked here. And while we can just ask high schools to offer and require a fourth social studies class, we think the best way to make this stick and be sustainable in our schools is actually we're proposing to the board to go in and amend policy IKF again to align with both the state law and what our community is telling us they want high school graduates to emerge with. Yeah, and just digging in a little bit more, personal finance has sort of bopped around a little bit, but doesn't have like a home, that sort of guarantees that every student will get it. And then civics and government is taught in the context of learning about historical events. However, we want to kind of sharpen our students, the content they get about themselves becoming an active and engaged citizen.
Okay. Thank you. That concludes.
Yes,
All
thank you.
righty, thank you. And then for 3.1 and 3.2 together, we're going to do elementary and secondary whole school and connected communities. And I'll turn it over to Angela and then Alice.
Thank you, Cheryl. So I am here in place of Joanna Frankel, who is our Elementary Director of Culture and Climate and who has led this work this year. I just want to remind folks this was our first year with the Purposeful People curriculum at the elementary level. That's a curriculum that is developed by Character Strong. Also, just want to emphasize the value of systematic SEL curriculum. There is significant research that has shown that having a systematic curriculum really contributes to positive outcomes for students, not just on like interpersonal skills, but also in academics. So if you think about what you need to succeed in life, it's often those interpersonal skills of collaboration, kind of self-regulation, all those skills, and this curriculum helps us to teach that in a systematic way. So we felt like the first year of implementation with our new curriculum was very strong. Our end of year walkthrough data that where our culture and climate coordinators and our school leaders went through and kind of checked how the implementation was going in schools with the support from Joanna, showed that 100% of the visited classrooms were using Purposeful People curriculum. We've gotten just a lot of anecdotal positive response on this curriculum as well. Our data also showed that in those classrooms, 84% of students were engaged in the curriculum lessons. So that's pretty important. And then we also, in our school climate survey, which is a survey given to students in grades 3 to 5, there was a 4% increase on the item students treat each other well, which is one of the measures that we were hoping would show improvement with the use of the new SEL curriculum. So we're excited to move into year 2, where we'll get better at this curriculum and then also start to expand it into some of our intervention work.
Thank you. And the next slide, I think Alice would take for 3.2.
Okay, we are making progress towards alignment in secondary. The secondary schools are cultivating communities of belonging, and we are doing that through well, I'll talk about moving to culture, character strong in our next slide, but the things that we would like to highlight for this particular year is that first, that we had piloted Character Strong in our Breathe programs, and it was very well received. And so that has helped us make the decision that we're going to talk about in the next slide of adopting Character Strong across all schools. But two things that we would like to highlight as far as our culture goes for this year is that we, across all of our secondary schools, through the PBIS Student Climate Survey, we have noted that we have strong staff-student relationships. The question, I know an adult at school that I can talk to if I need help, ranked as one of the highest rated items across all 6 of our secondary schools. And then also a culture of mutual respect. The statement, "Teachers treat me with respect," was our second highest rated indicator across all of the surveys in our secondary schools. Next slide. And we are really excited about this, is that we will be strengthening our alignment by adopting Character Strong K through 12 in all our schools. So for 3.2, our plan is to have a professional development launch in August with a Train the Trainers PD for all of our culture and climate coordinators. We'll begin aligning the MTSS and student support. We will also have implementation fidelity tracking of the launch of the curriculum, and that will be guided with data-driven success metrics.
Okay, thank you. And then now for 2.4, I'll turn it over to Pamela.
Good evening again. All right, so this year we did make some really important progress uh, towards strengthening how we support students in grade 9 and beyond high school as well. So as you see there in 9th grade, all our high schools maintained regular team meetings to identify students who need extra support early. We also created clear district-wide definitions of what on track is. So now we have a district definition rather than having each school having their own. We also did complete a review of our grade 9 academy model that exists across the district and made strong progress towards really launching a shared dashboard to better monitor student success. In the post-secondary realm, for post-secondary planning, schools worked more closely together this year to support students with college applications, FAFSA, career planning, and next step decisions that come post-graduation. And just overall, really, what we're doing is we're building stronger systems so students receive more consistent support across all of our high schools. Next slide. All right. So one important takeaway is that, so we do not yet, I should say, have reliable district-wide outcome data for either grade 9 or post-secondary success. Now, I want to say that this does not mean work is not happening. We had a lot of amazing work happening at all 3 of our high schools. Our educators worked really hard, both in grade 9 and post-secondary work. What it means is that schools have been tracking and reporting information in different ways. So for grade 9, data systems were not aligned across schools. Schools were using their own spreadsheets and taking information from IC in order to track how many students were on track. And then for post-secondary planning, schools interpreted and reported student outcomes differently. And our tracking tool, which we did have a common, to some degree, spreadsheet, was not used consistently or in the same way across. Because of this, it's really difficult to compare results across schools. So one of the goals is really improving data consistency is one of the biggest priorities that we have moving forward into next year.
And may I just add
Yes.
too, is that we're working within Power Schools to build a data dashboard for the ninth grade work. So part of the work that is being done is building the data dashboard and aligning so that we will have data beyond what individual schools are doing separately. All right, and then the next slide. There we go.
So next year, as I was saying, our focus really is going to be turning to really having stronger and more consistent district-wide systems in place to support data tracking. So we're going to launch grade 9 on-track dashboard through Power School in the fall, so schools can identify students who have needs earlier on and respond faster. And so then we can track district-wide also the percentage of students that are on track and or are not and need support. So we're going to improve how all students collect and report post-secondary data as well, so that we can better understand student outcomes after high school. We're looking at revising the spreadsheet that we use to track the post-secondary data, collectively doing it together with the schools to ensure when we launch in September, we're aligned in terms of how we're going to do that, and so that the data can be consistent across the board and the methods we're using are consistent. We'll continue supporting school teams with training as well, coaching, and shared tools. And our goal really here is to make sure every student has the support they need to stay on track for graduation and leave high school with a clearer plan for what comes next.
Thank you, Pamela. We're really excited about that. And so, any questions as I stop sharing? Yes, Board Member Lena.
This isn't really a question. I just wanted to respond to Allison's slide about the updating the policy. I'm the chair of the policy committee, and I definitely think that's something we can work on. So, Allison, whenever you're ready, I think generally Dr. Warren is the one who brings those to us. So, we're ready for you. Thanks.
Thank you. I'll follow up with Dr. Warren.
Thank you.
And I wanted to make note to a student representative, Mylena. You may remember Mina Fitzpatrick, who was Fitzgerald, who was graduated this year from Portland, who actually came to the policy committee a year and a half ago to request such a course as civics. So kudos to our students for recognizing what they want and what they need and listening to them. So yes, I'm pleased, Maya, that you're going to carry on that. I want to thank everyone who presented this week and every week this year. This was a wonderful wrap up. It was a good sense. It was very clear. Thinking back over the year, how you were pushing and pulling different pieces together, it has come together. It's something that we can share with others and they can understand how much is being accomplished in this district by all of you. We just listen to it up here with the board. So I appreciate that very, very much. Any other comments, Maya? No? I just can't thank you all enough, really. So looking forward to August when we hear how you're all psyched to start another year. And thank you. And Angela, as I said earlier, bon voyage across the bay to enjoy, I think, full superintendentship. So I wish everyone may have Maya, you and I agree, we're adjourned at this hour. Thank you. Have a great summer, please. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.